What's up, YouTubers? This is Martin. I don't know exactly what this is, but it's kind of like a emergency septic system repair and a product overview of some items that I use for this. Let's get into it. I'll show you what Sunday looked like for me. So I'm still in Fort Myers, Florida, so I've got a shallow well pump and a pretty shallow traditional septic system. Looks like it's a concrete basin. I've never had a septic before this house, so I don't know what to expect. But as you can see, I've hoed out the area. It was overflowing, and I just kind of trenched it out to get the overflow off so I could work on it yesterday. Now what I had to do was to get the septic system level of liquid lowered so that I could go ahead and try and move on to the next step, which, being a novice at septics, I don't really know what that is. But what I did use was this guy right here. I got a septic, it's called a transfer pump. It's not made for septic. This is Harbor Freight Tools. It's the Drummond transfer pump with the 110 cord. If you do something like this, they do have it in 12 volts to make sure you get the wiring out that you want. It has the regular garden hose, 3/4 inch, so you can just plug in garden hose to it. It's very simple. Little can in case you see how small it is. But this was reasonably priced. It was $54, and it actually worked pretty good. Like with most pumps, if you run them dry, you'll fail them, and of course they won't warranty them. Once I got the level of liquid down, I'm trying this from Home Depot. This is a Septic Power septic shock from Instapower, so hopefully that's going to help me out. Not knowing what to expect, when I finally got the septic drained down about 18 inches or 2 feet, it looks like perhaps it was just toilet paper, so this might end up being an easier fix. But how did I use this? Well, obviously you can't pump sludge through a little garden pump, so what I did was build this apparatus over here, and it worked quite well. So not to have to get anywhere near the waste, even though I bought the gigantic safety gloves, I just, out of scrap 2x2, I made this pump stem, and I just took 1-inch PVC here. I had a piece of scrap PVC, put a cap on the end, drilled holes in it after I cleaned it up, and I made this like a skimmer to keep the sludge and particulate out of the pump and allow me to get the water out in the middle of the tank while leaving the sludge at the bottom and not getting any particulate in to fail the Harbor Freight Drummond pump. So we just have a reducer. I had to use a couple old parts. I could have made it a little easier, but I went from 1 inch down to 3/4, and then I have the 3/4 garden. That's the Orbit's brand garden fitting. That just turns a regular PVC into a garden hose. And then I just tied on my garden hose. And what I did was, in order to prime the pump so it would have water in it and not burn out, I hooked the pump up here. This was my waste, and I used the wastewater for irrigation from my large fruit tree. This was the inlet to the pump, and then of course we have the outlet from the skimmer going in here, and then I would plug the garden hose with fresh water in there. I'd turn the valve on, plug the pump in, inject the water. That would make sure there's water in the line, and then once I turned the pump on, I would simply turn off the fresh water, and it would suck only the wastewater through. And the little pump did pretty good. It's supposed to be 390 gallons an hour, and this huge, 3.5 by 8 foot tank, I pumped down, I don't know, 1.5 feet, 2 feet of it maybe at the most. So it, hours worth of pumping, it pumped out quite a bit. But it did the trick, and then I put the septic shock in. So if you got a septic tank crisis and you don't know what to do, I guess this little guy with just a few bucks in PVC was a decent way to go ahead and get that tank lowered so that you can then go to the next step and try and identify what the problem is. Maybe I'll do a follow-up and let you know how the septic shock works, and we'll go from there. But I wouldn't feel too bad about that little pump. For 54 bucks, it's not bad. You will notice one little problem with this Harbor Freight pump. It does have this nice little convenient handle. It's tiny. The hose attachments are fine. There's no on-off switch. So apparently I must be using this for the wrong application, because I would think they would have put a convenience switch on there, but maybe you're meant to use it on a interrupted outlet. But that's Chinese stuff from Harbor Freight, so you never know what you're going to get. And the final tool was Ice House 6.9, the greatest new budget beer of 2017. If you haven't tried that, it's a good DIY beer. But as always, be safe. Wear your safety glasses and gloves. I'm out.